What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. We're jumping back into Rugby 25 today for our Thursday update coming out for Rugby 25. Now, we did the video on Tuesday, April Fool's Day, but surprisingly not on April Fool's Day. I was having a bit of a fun time with the game. There was some nice advancements in the AI attack. They were scoring tries against me. There's a few new issues that I was getting a little bit annoyed about with the way the players getting selected and not really being able to do a lot against what the AI was bringing in terms of attack, but at least they were scoring tries. Read the feedback in the comment section. I was looking on the FAQ page on the Discord. A few people having completely different experiences. It was quite a mixed update, actually. I was on the side of, hey, this actually feels pretty good. Some people saying it was pretty poor on their end. There are lots of different issues. They said on PlayStation, the grass looks terrible now. PlayStation's the only platform I don't have this game on to be able to sort of clarify it. We didn't get any patch notes. They never came out for the Tuesday update. Luckily, they did put it out on the Big Ant FAQ page, so we could see them, but it's not on any of the social media sites or on Steam, which is where I normally grab them. And the same has gone for today, so I'm not sure what's going on in the sort of hierarchy of getting these patch notes out of people, but we do have them. So last week's one was, or this week, sorry, on Tuesday, was they added the Career International rankings. They've also improved the online leaderboards, definitely didn't check that out. Improved the audio, which improved crowd sounds, including correction of incorrect player vocals for the women's matches. I want to know what that was. If there was just like they just had like the men's audio coming through. But I did say I feel like the ambience was actually feeling a lot better in the stadiums recently. And then they had their improved stability. Now we'll actually check out the online leaderboards because I believe they are scrapping the online leaderboards and sort of resetting them because they're actually meant to be fixing them. Because at the minute, you basically lost every game no matter what on the leaderboards. But today's patch notes, they balanced player movement speed, so players should be adjusted even further. So that will be nice to have a look at in terms of like your wingers versus your forwards. Improve the AI. AI-controlled teams will have better defensive formations, tackle, and passes. Interesting. Defensively, I felt like they've had quite a nice, solid line. If anything, it's my line that isn't looking very set. Corrected tackle issue. Rectified an issue where after receiving an offload, players could occasionally be put in a state where they could not be tackled. Occasionally. I would say 1 in 3. So, yeah, all right, one occasionally. But I know that'll be one we'll test today for certain. Corrected achievements and trophy unlocks. Prevents you to be able to unlock the collector, sin to win, and internet achievement. So yeah, I'm someone who enjoys my achievements in games, both on the Xbox and on the PC. I haven't been able to unlock those exact ones, so they've taken that into consideration. So they've been able to fix a couple of the achievements. Corrected the PlayStation 5 grass texture. That was something I saw a few people mention, was that the PlayStation 5 version's grass looked much worse in Tuesday's patch. Will now display on the better versions of for PS5, and then finally, of course, improved stability. We love the improved stability, right, as they get along. So let's take a look quickly then at the online leaderboards and see if they have actually reset them to what it was. I can't remember when they said they were going to reset them. Oh, they've now got the sort of icons next to the people's, like, if you play an issue, that's like an Xbox versus like Greg there is on the PC. No idea where I am. It's still not a great leaderboard to be able to just traverse the way around. What do the points mean? Everyone's on loads of losses. How do I find me? You know, it's not a great leaderboard for really showing anything. I don't think anyone's taking it overly massively seriously. I don't even know what I was on, but I do remember I used to be the only person on my leaderboard that had points and everyone else was on 0, so it looks like they've been able to correct that, but I do think they're meant to be like resetting it to allow basically people who are on 300 losses even though they'd won games and stuff. Whoa. Is that loading or is that just broken? Who knows? Who knows anymore? Let's just say it's there. So they've apparently going to be improving those online leaderboards. That was something that came in on Tuesday's update. So today we're looking at balanced player movement speed, improve the AI. So we kind of want to be good teams, I would say, in order to actually really get a good feel for them. Who do we want to be? I haven't really thought about this ahead of time. Let's put myself at a bit of a deficit. Let's put me let's do Georgia 83 and sort of go against like a higher rated 80s team. I want to feel the pressure. I'm not afraid, and I don't care if I lose or anything. I just sort of want to do Argentina 86. I kind of want to go higher. You do like the Springboks, maybe they're 90. Let's do Springboks. Let's put out a game where it's like, man, this is tough. I'm struggling to get through. We'll keep it on hardest difficulty. Could end up losing because, as you've seen, they will score tries against you now. Most of the time, it feels like not a lot you can do about it because it was either the invincible players or they sort of know to run around the outside of your players. I don't know, let's check on that. I don't really care where we're going to go. But we want to test the player speed. Georgia do have some pacey players on their teams. I think in like Nino Yashvili, Sharakadze's got his bit of pace. There's a couple of Georgia players that I've got some decent pace. Not maybe as well, maybe Nino Yashvili actually, but not necessarily going to be outrunning like a Cheslin Colby, but I should still be outrunning South African forwards, you would like to say, right? I mean, they've still got a couple of pacey forwards, but if Oxen Shea is able to chase down Nino Yashvili, it's safe to say they haven't quite fixed the the sort of attribute versus realism point of this game. I do kind of wish they would move this to after they do the runouts. I feel like those leaderboards of the teams go on for quite a long time. Right, improve the air. So we're looking for the better defensive formations. They're going to be doing better tackles, better passes. We shouldn't, at any point, be able to have an invincible player today. That should be good. I doubt we're going to be able to get any of the trophies, which they've mentioned, because the only trophy potentially we could get is the sin to win, which is get a try with a yellow card, but getting a yellow card is still very, very hard in this game. It's become harder and harder as these updates have gone along as well. So let's take it in. Let's see how much better this South African defense is going to be. Let's try and go wide to start out. And we're already making a bit of a break there. Nope, cut back inside, didn't work for us. Still looking a little bit bunched. It is something I would like to see worked on, is just how bunched. It always feels like my team has just got no room to be able to work with. Let's just go for a bit of an exit kick over the top there. Got a nice bounce. Oh, one thing I did notice after playing Tuesday's update, didn't have it in the video, but played a couple of games later that evening. 50-22s didn't work either. So we'll try and test that today and see if they haven't mentioned that in the patch notes if 50-22s are working, but they were broken once again, which was kind of annoying. Oh, they're going to steal that as well. And South Africa have the ball for the first time. So, corrected the attack. We've still not had any invincible players yet. Defensively, can't say I've noticed a great variance. They're still going to go for their great handoffs that they love to do. Bit slow to the ruck by my boys there. Let's just try and... Again, I've got 5 guys over on that side. Oh, I actually could have gone for a steal. That was... Oh, loose pass once again, and we'll take that. Well, okay. Bit of a scuffle there from the South African players. Let's try and go... Here once again, let's cut back inside. Let's go for Grubber. Oh, they still going for those late tackles. Andre Parlard just going to save them. Once again, get a decent clearance. I'm going to go front again. And hope they don't steal that one. Right, we're looking to go wide if possible. There was a bit of an offload. Wasn't giving the invincible player glitch that time. Nice, okay, we've made a bit of an overlap here. We're still running wide. Oxen Shea. Still able to get across and make a tackle. I'm still... sort of indifferent about the idea of whether or not the AI is actually making these great tackles, or whether they sort of get like a bit of an ability to have a slightly longer range on their tackles. Sometimes it does feel like they shouldn't really be able to tackle me from where I am, but they're still able to make it. Well, let's go for a little chip kick over the top. Try something different this time. Ooh, nearly got in there. Good cover once again. Andre Pollard's doing some good work in the backfield for them. As Frans Malherbe runs it into me. Not really had a lot of open break play. I kind of want to just test the defense for this first bit, and then we'll test a little bit more about the speed. We want to see the speed of some of these players as well. Still straight. One of the issues with being so bunched... Wow, was that like an actual charge down? I kind of want to have a look at that one. Was that like a charge down, or was it a tackle? What happened in here? So they went for a clear box kick here. Ball is out. You're allowed to play this now. It's hard to make that decision. I think he's purely gone for a tackle there. And it just so happens that the player model's got in front of clearly where the ball's gone. He's taken a boot to the face. I mean, talk about putting your body on the line for your team as you get kneed in the face. That's real commitment from a Georgia player there. So I don't think that was necessarily a charge down. That would be something I would still like to see added into this game. Is a real charge down option where you get to raise your hands and try and get your hands on the ball, stop them getting those clearance kicks. Let's see if we can let them run a little bit, because at the minute we're feeling very tight. 20 minutes into the game already, no one's really made a lot of ground. They're still going to go for some offloads here. Frans Malherbe, they're still doing a lot of one-off runners actually so far. I don't think we've seen any of the scripted, like, out the back. Here we go. This might be one. No. Now. There is a lot of one-off runners rather than doing the wider pass thing that we've seen before. Has something been reverted there where they're no longer doing interesting passes? Oh. And my fullback didn't want to catch it either. Oh. That was one of the bigger benefits of what happened on Tuesday. They fixed that catching issue. And they're going for one-off runners again. We may have found my first complaint of it. It was oh, there we go. We finally got it out. It's taken them half hour, I think, to do the first one. They've re-engaged something after that line out to be able to do it. They're really not sort of making a lot of ground here. I am trying to let them have a bit of room to try and get around me. I want to see if I can hunt them down. It's been a very staticky kind of game. Not a lot really going on there. I can't really get a turnover because they're so much higher rated than me. Let's see if Franz Malherbe's got some
Stop the clock, we've got an injury.
Franz Malherbe felt slower there. Actually, I felt like I was very easily able to chase him down. So that felt a little bit nicer. Let's just go for one more. Right, Matt Carver, who's with me here? One little pass back inside. Well, it's a bit of a pickup. It'll work. Number 11. There's some interesting stuff going on with the players' feet behind me there. Oxenshea sort of held exactly my pace, but was sort of glitching across the ground. Little offload here. Let's see if we're invincible. No, it doesn't seem we've got like the invincible players. There was something certainly going on with Oxenshea's feet on that bit of a chase, though. The AI defense, I mean, I don't know if it's feeling that much better. Honestly, it's not feeling that much different to what it was. I mean, I've changed the teams. Alright, or just knock it down with your head. Fair enough. Doing a bit of an Elliot Daly there. And keeping that one down. I'm not sure if I'm feeling like that defense is feeling better. I'm just thinking about like the range of the tackles. I feel like I could maybe have squeezed through there. Then 15 came in. I don't know. There's something about the tackles at the minute. I'm feeling like the AI has the ability to tackle much further away. And they really, know the very full extent of how far they can tackle without doing, a dive tackle or a missed tackle or maybe, falling off the shoulder or something. They have some real range on the tackles. And I'm wondering if that therefore makes it feel like, well, the defense is better. You're struggling to get through. But actually, is it more that the AI is just able to tackle from slightly further away? We get in there? Yeah, I was going to say, there was nobody in that ruck for them. We should have been able to get that one right. Come on, boys, get in there. We've also lost the UI. Interestingly, or the HUD. I always call it the UI, but you know what I mean. The scoreboard and the time, that's gone off the top left as well. Probably from looking at that replay, so the sort of like the heads-up display graphics in the top corner have gone. So let me do the pause, bring them back. So there, that was a thing that was an issue quite a few patches ago. That seems to have returned as well. That is the second time my guy's been able to get there and shut down a box kick. I'm kind of tempted to go for a box kick myself. That time they were able to get one away. So it seems like there might be a new thing where they're able to get in. Well, again, they charged up. The kicking is feeling a little bit more of a struggle in this one. Box kicks haven't gone as well. My kicks haven't gone as well. All seem to be bouncing off of players' faces and stuff. It doesn't feel like you've got quite enough time to get those kicks away. Oh, there's another good turnover by us. Let's just try and quickly go right. One more. Right, inside centre. I feel like Bongi and Banambi really kept up with me there. An inside centre versus a hooker. Let me just go one more. Number 5, charge it up. We would like to get a try, if possible, in this game. We're up against some hard competition here. On the hardest difficulty with, tough AI. Able to get across again. Jasper Visa there. I feel like my right winger should have been able to get a better line through there. Shut down again. Let's try and go left. Just looking for where the space is going to open. I mean, I'm struggling to get through. I am struggling to get through this this defense, which, that's a good thing. I'm not complaining about not being able to get as many scores because the AI is certainly keeping me at bay, but it isn't helped. One more on the outside for the open side flanker there. But it's not really helped by how bunched my team is. You know, the AI is certainly holding a good line. It's not really letting me through. Some good defense going on there. I've been able to create an overlap a few times, but you just look at how many people are stood behind my ruck. It's hard to gauge, is that defense better, or is my attack almost worse? And my guy stood in such a ball, you can't really spread wide, you can't really get around the outside, and therefore the AI is going to be able to defend you better. You're basically doing a 1 versus 3 every time, and you've got to hope someone runs a loop and get an offload pass. It's very hard to make a bit of a distance to me if the AI feels defensively better. Now we've got men out wide here. Let's try and go really far out wide. See if we can get a kick over the top. Let's see if anyone's in that backfield for them. Better defensive positioning for them. I'm still able to find that grass in the backfield. The winger really bid in for that one. Fullback didn't rotate for them. Better defensive formations. You know, that's a decent little exit clearance kick for me there. Still haven't been able to try the 50-22, to be fair, as of yet. Still not taking the injured player off as well. I think Franz Malherbe got injured in the first half, right? He's still remaining on the field. Oh, I've also scored a try from a maul. That was something I did off camera. You can now score a try from a maul, and it seems unstoppable. You just hold down the RT button when you've got all your guys in. You slowly walk over, and your guy at the back of the maul just kind of dots it down. Oh, hello. First player didn't make a tackle there. Absolutely pressed it. Okay, Franz Malherbe going across. Nice tackle again. The player speed is an interesting one. Do I feel like they've really been able to get away that much? You know, the forwards, the front rowers particularly, you know, they've not got a lot of pace on them. But the AI still doesn't really get it to the wing. You know, so I want to see Cheslin Colby. I want to see Mapimpi. I want to see these guys getting the ball and running with it. And it hasn't really come to it yet. Let me just try and keep going wide. Right, I'm running around the outside of Oxenshea. But again, my number 6 is on the wing. Hard to test. Is my player actually faster? I've got a flanker going up against a prop. I'm expecting to be faster. One more offload. Where's my wingers? I want to test speedy boys. My position's all over the place. Very hard to test that sort of thing. I really do hope they are able to get the sort of positioning of the roles in the game a little bit better. You know, I want to, again, I've got my open side flanker out on the wing. Where is my winger? There comes my number 11. Slowly he's in. Now my winger has the ball. Tried to get it to him just to run around there. Got blitzed by Bongi and Benambi. I can't outrun the hooker still. Oh, hello. Late offload, let's call it that. We got it to a winger. Again, I'm a real big ball for a long time here. Player stood very, very deep. Let's try and get my fullback around the outside. Shut down there by a prop and a number 5, you know, with relative ease. So it feels a bit like these things are becoming a bit clashing. You know, the AI defense is better, but also we fixed the player speeds. Like, well, it's hard to feel the speed is better because the AI is able to defend it. Oh, and that was the end of the game. I didn't even pay attention. I was just sort of kicking that out. A bit of a rougher one. I'm not going to lie. It was hard to gauge a lot of that to be particularly different, and I feel like there's a few more issues in that one. Let's jump into some thoughts and feedback on that one. Very choppy game. It wasn't as exuberant as it felt like the last one was. You know, we're still able to get a win in there. But let's put up the patch notes so we've got another bit of a run through. Balanced player movement speed. Individual players' movement speeds have been adjusted to further balance line breaks and defense. Now, the front rows, in particularly, I was like, they felt slower. I felt like they were able to break through my line, but my boys hunted them down. I would say outside of the front rows, I wasn't really noticing that much of a speed difference across the rest of the players. And there was even times where we had that one run when I was going down the wing, and Oxenshea was like behind me, and he's like juttering along. It's like, I've made the break, my stamina is slowly decreasing because I'm holding down the sprint button and running. The AI's player is keeping up with me at full pace, at full tilt, but somehow not able to make the tackle. Is that like the player's locked into me and allowed to match speeds, as opposed to that prop should actually be running a lot slower? I should be making ground away from him, but he really matched me all the way through in terms of speed. But I would say from players having the ball in their hands, the front rowers felt slower. I don't know if I would necessarily say that it felt outwardly like it was that. But again, hard to test because the player positions, very rarely are they where I want them to be. You know, I'm getting it out wide to my left-hand winger. Great, loads of room. Great, my open side flanker's out there. Why is my open side flanker there? Where's my winger? Oh, he's in the midfield. He's in a ruck. Why is he in a ruck? He should be out there. I've got the ball. I'm the attacking team, you know. I want my winger out there. So until you feel like those positions are getting locked down, where the players are staying where they really should be, you know, not 100% of the time, but more often you should be seeing your wingers stay right out there. Your fullback should probably be covering that backfield rather than being pushed up into your defensive line. So until they really land that, I feel like it's hard to gauge that those things have made a big difference. Or, you know, maybe you play the game on easy and you can blitz down with Cheslin Colby, be like, man, he's rapid. You know, maybe you can feel that experience a bit more. But yeah, I'm not sure too much about that across the board for the teams. Even the South African players, I didn't feel like they made some breaks, but again, their backs weren't running. It was always to the forwards and what have you. Improved AI. AI control teams will have a better defensive formations, tackle, and passes. Defensive formations is, again, tough. They're a really solid line. The defensive wall is great. They're really organised. They're holding a good position. But my attack line is so bunched. They're just a ball of players. I can't really do a lot against it. They've got a good line. I've got nothing to work with. So all you can try and do is just sort of go through some sort of looping plays. You've got to go for some handoffs eventually. It's hard to know if they're better because my attack isn't feeling better to match it, to test me out. It's just that they're a solid line, and at every stage of the defense, they'll probably have a 3 versus 1 against you. That's very hard for you to overcome, especially when you've got a big, you know, rating differential there, 90 versus whatever we were, like 82. You know, we're always going to struggle against that, but I want to see my attack line be really flat. I want to be able to push that out wide. But a few times I was still able to create those overlaps. I was still able to get around the outside. But again, we're being tracked very easily. I've got forwards tracking my wingers with great ease on the outside shoulder. They're able to get across to me, which again is that sort of speed difference. I kind of feel like the wingers need to have an extra bit of oomph. Or maybe it's not necessarily about the top speed, but maybe just the sheer level of acceleration. Maybe players need to have a slightly different level of acceleration where it does feel at the minute like you're either sprinting or you're not. You're either jogging or sprinting. Maybe it needs to be a bit more like they have a set speed at jog and then a top speed at sprinting, and you have to gradually get to it, and just wingers will get to that top speed quicker. So that way it feels like you could get the burst early on the outside shoulder and then accelerate and eventually hit your top speed. But, you know, by then you've already made the ground, and then it's up for the fullback to get back across for you. Maybe it's harder to make a turn when at full speed, so it's up to you whether to actually come off the sprint button and actually make your player slow down a little bit to try and track back inside, get around the fullback. I think there still needs to be tweaks with what they're doing with the running, sprinting, and fatigue system in this game, because I don't quite feel like it's there. Tackles do feel better. I still maintain it just feels a bit like the AI is able to make slightly longer range tackles. I would like to see that tackle range reduced. I guess I'm playing on hardest difficulty. Maybe on hardest difficulty they should have a slightly longer tackle range to make the game tougher. But it really does feel like if you had, like, you know, I'm trying to think of like Rugby 22 or even like in this game where you have like the ring around your player's feet. I feel like that's sort of the area. You should only really be able to tackle, you know, the length of a player's arm. It does feel like I can be, I don't know, the length of a player tilted side, you know, 2-3 meters away from someone, and they do a tackle, and my guy, it's like the animations have to play out. Therefore, they press tackle, my guy stops running, and they sort of merge into the animation of them making the tackle, as opposed to them being well positioned to make the tackles. The tackles feel better. I'm on hardest against a hard team. Fair enough. But I still feel like they've got this extra little advantage bit that maybe I don't feel like I have as a defensive player, or maybe the game just in general should maybe reduce down a little bit. Corrected the achievement trophy list. I don't know. I've got nothing for the achievement trophy because we're not going to be able to attempt that. But I know from the stats page they were all 0% coming in today, so it depends if anyone's been able to unlock them. Corrected the tackle issue. Rectified an issue where receiving players would occasionally be in a state where they could not be tackled. We didn't decisively have an invincible player. Like, there was that one with Ox and Shea where he was chasing me and was on my toes, but for some reason wasn't able to make a tackle. And I had a couple where I was pressing tackle and my guys sort of just ran through them and they carried on running for a bit. But then the next guy immediately tackled them afterwards. So it's not as blatant as what it was in the last patch, which is better. We didn't get to test if the 5022 had been fixed. Grass texture correction on PS5. No idea. If you guys play on PS5, test it out. Drop it down in the comment section. Is it better? That's about as good as I can do at the minute. And then improve stability. You know, still no crashes. Still no crashes. The crash system is good. Still haven't been able to figure out what's going on with the online leaderboards. We're back to having some stuff now. Yeah, I would just like to be able to, where am I? Where am I doing? To be honest, I haven't done a lot of online in a long, long time, so I'm probably down. And if they've actually reset the boards now, I'm probably very far, because the online at the minute is just spamming handoffs and pick and goes. There's not enough for it to be like an enjoyable game for me at the minute, for me to sit down and play some online matches. Overall, this update, I feel like there's been some bigger, I don't know, not issues, but just that game didn't feel as smooth as my last experience. It didn't feel quite as fun to sit down and play. The AI doing a lot more one-off carries, not really getting it out wide to the wingers. Defensively, they seem more solid, which is good, but my attack is still feeling very flat. Feels like I can't really do a lot with it, rather than just sort of always going for those offload passes. Nicer to have the fixed invincibility players. That's a decent little fix. For me, Tuesday has been the highlight of this week, as opposed to this one. For me, still don't know what's going on with the patch notes. Don't know why they're not putting them out on social media. The FAQ page is the place to find them, but I know plenty of people not involved with the FAQ page, just playing this on console. They don't even know these videos exist. So if you're waiting to see these patch notes, make sure you do head over to the FAQ page, because they typically seem to be putting them up on there pretty consistently. Let me know what you think of it all down in the comment sections anyway, guys. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.